All right, let's make it. This is our intro. Like, so we have something different.
Well, what are we doing? You gotta direct it, man. You gotta tell me what to do. Welcome to Larry and Arias Travel the World. We are home in one of the greatest cities in the world, Los Angeles, California. Our home, where we've lived, home to black people since the 1800s. Today we're going to be talking about a legendary man who helped design half of the city, Paul Revere Williams. Let's check it out.
I have a dream. And this type of black thinking will cause all black people to stick together.
The colonized world or the developing countries are also the colored world, and American imperialism is implicated in all of those puppet governments that control these developing countries.
I never even heard of the guy until you mentioned it. I had to look him up. So
Okay.
you can like tell me about him and all that stuff.
All right, so this is episode 3 of Arias and Larry chopping it up. Now, Arias, I got to tell you, man. So we started doing these videos and recording and learning about Paul Revere Williams, and I learned about the Eddie Rochester Anderson. Sorry to disturb you.
No. Now go sit back again. Yeah, now. See. Yeah, it was almost all leg, no head.
Thank you.
By the way, you get those little buttons for the hands that turn the start and stop the recording.
Okay.
They come with most of the hands.
All right. We're doing this on the fly, so thank you. Yeah.
All right, ready?
So what are we Eddie Rochester Anderson, right? All right, so I guess I mentioned Paul Revere Williams to my dad, and then he said, well, you got to go by the Rochester house. And I'm like, okay. So here he starts telling me about the Rochester house. And this is only a couple of days ago when, after learning about it, I decided to just pull up. So I pulled up, and it was a serendipitous moment because his son was outside in front of the house doing some work, and I had a historic figure, to bombard with questions or to ask, or just to get some, put a face to the building, the home. He was a very nice man, shook my hand, he welcomed me. I told him, this is a historic building. He said, yeah, I know. He said, this was my dad's place, and I was like, oh, wow. Shook my hand, and I asked if I could film outside. He said, yeah, go, have at it. As I'm filming, then his partner approached me, and she said, hey, if you want to tour the place, then, follow me, which none of this I expected. None of this was planned, and it was a beautiful serendipitous moment where I got to walk into one of Paul Revere Williams' designs. And going in there, what I noticed is that the staircase has a curvilinear, curved line. And when I saw that, after the research that we've done, I've learned that was part of his signature design, the curved lines and what have you. And so that was immediately apparent upon entering. I walked around. She gave me a tour upstairs and downstairs. It was a beautiful experience. Now, what I also had to do is watch some videos about Rochester, because of course he was older. This is a different generation from either you or I.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about him. Come to find out, he was the Martin Lawrence, Richard Pryor, Flip Wilson, but at a higher capacity, caliber.
Yeah.
But he was that guy, a black comedic actor of his era,
He's a comedian. Okay.
and he was the highest paid. So much so that the reason why we were even talking about this, his home that Paul Revere Williams designed, is because it's the biggest home on the street that's even named after the man.
Really? Okay.
So it's a it's a wild nugget of history that is so incredible, and also at the same time it's so obscure. It's no one knows, you know. Well, people know about it, but it's a different generation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Very few people know about it or him.
I just want to bring it a little bit closer.
okay,
Just because it's just
okay, thank you.
I forgot my train of thought.
Yo, the Eddie Rochester Anderson home, Los Angeles, constructed by Paul Revere Williams. Um, Fabulous piece of history right here in Los Angeles, architectural history.
so we're saying, right, just because the space is limited.
Okay.
Just bring it a little bit closer.
Okay.
Okay.
What's up, Larry? What we doing, man?
Well, catching some B-roll footage for Larry and Arias, or Arias and Larry, whichever way. Two brothers from Los Angeles, Black History Los Angeles. We're presenting stories and living life and enjoying it. This is 2025, y'all. Happy New Year, and onward and upward.